let's face it, Nintendo Switch is in everybody's hands. I mean, it's widely available. I mean, you can get it practically anywhere. It can't be stopped. It's just like the original Game Boy. It can't be stopped. One thing about it is it just this new OLED is just off the chain. I mean, if you guys got an OLED, just y'all got to tell me how much of a gorgeous experience that you're having when you're playing up on here. Right now, I'm playing Metroid Dread. I've been enjoying it. I've been getting pretty far, and I've been putting like quite a few hours up in here. Yeah, when it comes down to that handheld, it's definitely the Switch, no matter what. I mean, you know, there's always other ones, and I do like the handheld, but I do love the fact is that, you know, you pop it into the dock and you go right up on the big screen and enjoy yourself and for real, and just keep the game going. Grab yourself a controller and popping off some great games. And also they always have sales and them games be like cheap. But today I wanted to show you guys something else I got. So let me stop right here and show you this. The AYANEO, I don't know how to pronounce this, so I'm just always gonna say it. The AYANEO Air Pro. Yes, and I gotta see what's going on with this thing. So what is going on, you guys? Your boy Famous Kid Video Gamer Entertainment, and we are on our way to about 2,000 subscribers. I do appreciate everybody following. So if possible, hit that like, subscribe button. Click on like, subscribing. It's always a big help. This video might be a little lengthy, but not too bad. But I'm gonna try to do the best I can to make sure you guys get all the information, as much information as possible. It's not a tutorial. I just really wanted to kind of show you guys, to showcase some of the stuff that I've been learning on here. So, you know, so I'm just throwing the specs on the screen, and one thing about this, I'm just off the back, I'm just gonna say this. They, in this box, I'm just like noticing they didn't mess around. They gave you everything you possibly need to get you started. I mean, if you needed some you need a adapter for a USB, yeah, you have it. I mean, you need the information on getting you started, you have it. I mean, they made sure that they give you enough information to give you to get you going. I have seen others that have been having problems when they first got it and stuff and setting it up. I don't know. I don't know. Could be a challenge, but you know, I wanted to see how much it weighs, and let's just see. Okay, let's see. So the comparison of it is much smaller than the Switch. So let's go ahead and see how much it weighs. I'm just gonna kind of test this out. Oh, I want to test out. Yeah. Let me see. Oh man, dang. And me, you know me, I don't do grams. I kind of want to know like the pounds, you know. So all right. Wow, that is crazy. That's crazy, yo. I mean, so but it has two C-type ports. It has a spot where you can put your SD card in, and I'm gonna go ahead and grab this. Yep, this is right now is up in my Steam Deck right now, and it's been doing me well. So 512, I know there's a terabyte out there, but I just like to be on the safe side, so I just been using this one, and it's been going pretty well for me. So all right, so let's get going. I'm gonna need a few days so I can kind of mingle with this thing a little bit, so I can figure this thing out. So let's do that. So I finally think I'm ready to show this thing off. Okay, so I mean, definitely, like, from, you know, I've been doing a lot of handhelds. Some of them, they actually use physical games, and then others are open source. Mostly of the games, mostly handhelds I've been using was like Android based. The Steam Deck is in its own world, but a awesome handheld, which I do love. Now, before I go any further than what I'm doing right now, I just want to point a couple of things out. Okay, first, the touch sensor to unlock the handheld I didn't use because I wanted wifey and the kids to peep this out, so I just used passcode. For emulation, there are a few emulators that I didn't get a chance to test out, or I decided I'm not using it all. Okay, for one, the PS3, I'm not going to use it all because and I feel and I read that a very short amount of games play on there, plus I installed something else which we'll get tested in the video. Unlike using other devices, which most devices have been using is mostly Android based, you have to go with remote play, and in some cases with my bad internet it's just a bunch of lag. Switch emulation. If you guys been following the channel, I haven't really messed with the Switch, and my reason is, I'm going to be honest, I super enjoy playing the Nintendo Switch OLED, even on the big screen. I know, seeing a point in high resolution, frames per second, and you can dump your library of games. Yeah, and I know seeing it on the device is amazing. Maybe down the road I will tamper with it. And for those who can't get the games like that, I respect your hustle. Just for me, just not at this point in time. Original Xbox. I was thinking about trying it out. It was also too pretty hungry for the specs like the PS3. So some of my favorite games on there do require motion control with nunchuck, and I just rather play those on console or PC. And I know that there's ways to map it out. You know, I have no problem with that. I know it ain't gonna give me no problems on this, but I just like to play on a console. I might try some games if you guys want me to see if you guys want to see a couple of Wii games. I know it's not going to be a problem up on here, so just let me know. And there are other emulators I'm still deciding, so stay tuned. I might surprise y'all with some, you know, some discoveries as I'm messing with this thing. Oh, one last thing. I said before, GeForce Now, I respect the service and for what it offers, but I'm just cool with Game Pass. With that out the way, I'm just gonna keep going. All right, let's talk about mouse functions. I wanted to point out the left analog can be used to move around, with the A button being left click and the X right click. The big logo button will bring up the quick AYA menu, and the button to it to right next to it to go back and forth from the AYA app to the desktop. I even use the same button to escape from other programs and games. You know, you can change the button layout if you like, which default is just fine to me. You can change the TDP on how much power you need to pull off, you know, or you want to see how much power you need to pull off the stuff you're doing. For me, I'm using 16 watts. It's enough for me to do not too much, as well as play and show off the stuff, the games I'm going to be showing you in this video. I mostly play simple side scrollers or like pixel type games or handheld. So my personal use would probably be like maybe 12 to 14 watts. It's going to be cool for me. That's just me personally. For the sake of this video, I want to show you some stuff, so I'm gonna bump this up to about like 16, and that's just cool. And remember, the more power, the less playtime for you. When I was testing all my stuff, I was getting at least about 3 to 4 hours at best before I had to recharge. I didn't, to tell you the truth, I really didn't pay attention to how about the timing. Given a ballpark figure, when I was testing this thing out, I was playing for a while and having fun, and I enjoyed it. What you see right here is what's called the AYA space. I don't know if I'm gonna try to be safe and pronounce it. I'm not gonna even do that. But yeah, this is AYA space, and you can do all your settings. So you can actually add your games. You can add all your apps if you want to. As you tamper with it, you'll kind of figure out how to add the stuff to it. It's pretty simple. This is, you know, but there's another face I want to use, which is going to be way better than this, but also I want to show you the assistant. Here's some advice. Use the USB-C port and get you an adapter and utilize a keyboard and mouse. It will make things way more easier in setting things up for real. I'll show you what I'm using later in this video, and this thing also hooks up to a monitor. Just food for thought. The assistant, you see these little pretty lights that goes around the analogs, and I do love. You can actually mess around with the colors and effects on here just by doing a couple of things. So this is awesome. So now hit that big button, and if you press and hold it, it'll go right to it, you know. So the small one will come up, the small little menu come up, and then the big one will, the full-fledged page will come up. Let's just go ahead and navigate over to the assistant. The assistant will like, you can do some stuff. You can change like the layout, you can change all these little functions, and it points out to everything. But me, I'm not tampering with this yet, so but I do want to show you guys just like changing the color of these little analog LEDs. So you see what I have right here. So I could just basically just like kind of mess around with them. So I'm just gonna go ahead and like do a couple of little settings, and then make sure when you do your settings, when you do tamper around with it, that's just what you see on the screen. The screen is basically just showing you how it's gonna look. You have to press the 3 line buttons, or you could say the start button, to save. So in that way it can give you those effects. So me, I'm just like, you know, tamper around with you can mess with the brightness, you can do all types of stuff. I don't want to take it away from you if you decide you want to just kind of like mess around with this and just kind of do it your own thing. You know, even a little Google effect, you know, so you can have the little Google colors, and that's pretty cool. So I just want to just kind of just point those little things out to you, okay? And don't forget to go ahead and follow necessary prompts what you see up on the screen when it comes down to going back to like the main menu. You don't want anything to happen. You don't want to push something and it just does not work no more, or you have to do something to where you have to go back to factory defaults or something like that. You don't want to deal with that. Now, as I told you earlier, and just while I'm setting up, there is another place that to me is just, I don't know, just way more easier to function things than the AYA space. If you have this program, you pretty much already know about this because it's pretty much on our PCs, and that is big picture mode. Big picture mode is like the biggest help that for me to make sure everything just functions on here. I don't have to worry about nothing. This is my go-to space for everything, and I did set this up so that way it'd be way more easier for me, so I could just go straight here. Just go to my library, and everything's functional. You can use your controller just like you're doing like if you was using a controller from your computer. You know, so these are some of my programs that I had put up on here. So all the apps there, I don't have to go back to the desktop. All my stuff is right here for me to use to show you for this video. So as you can see, I actually took the time out and did the faces, the names. I did everything. There's some of the other ones that I'm still, you know, tampering with because I'm messing with like GOG and Epic Games and stuff like that. So I'll be adding those in like pretty soon. So for right now, I wanted to jump into some PC games. Sound can be a factor on a decent device. Now, in this case, I'm going to tell you right now, the sound quality, it may not get totally loud, but it does sound really comfortable. And also, if you wanted to, there are like ways you can just get like use the wireless headphone or wireless headset, or also there's a headphone jack under here, so that way you can just plug up your headphones. But far if you just sitting around and you just don't want to use that, like me, I just like, the sound quality is comfortable and quiet, less, you know what I'm saying. So I'm gonna turn this up for you. Me, myself, I'm gonna be totally honest, I don't count frames. I don't look at that stuff. If a game plays decent and I can control it and the actions that I need for it to do, totally fine with it. So that's why you don't see a frame counter on here. When I'm playing a game, I don't want to look at the frames. I just want to play the game. That's just me. Where I'm from, I grew up playing Nintendo, Super. I really, and there was parts up on there where, the game slows down, but it's still, I was able to still get the action parts I needed to do, and I passed the game. I just want to enjoy the game. I just want to play the game and just enjoy it. I really don't want to think about all the specs and stuff like that when I'm playing the game. So when I see this, I'm not sure if I'm not going to count the frames, but it's controlling, I'm playing, and I'm enjoying it. And on this screen here, it looks amazing. I bought this stuff to enjoy it, to really just enjoy a good game when I'm playing games and testing stuff out. Maybe it's just the old part of me, but you know what, at the end of the day, I love a good game. Let's do one more game for fun. Yeah, now remember on the back end, you can change your settings, like if you want to have like a 1080 output and stuff like that. I really didn't mess with too much of like the settings, but you can change things. Also, it might help out, maybe giving you more time on the battery and stuff like that on the back end concern. You can mess with stuff like that just to give you a good good picture, or you want to like maybe lessen the resolution so that way you can for longer periods of time, and plus you can use less power, so it kind of balances out. But you guys already seen my settings, so let's just keep seeing the results. When I was a kid and I didn't want to disturb mom like that and get in trouble for being up, I used to have my handheld, and I used to love playing at night, like in the dark and stuff when the lights is out. But in order for you to play those games, you had to get like overhead lights, and you got to plug it up and stuff, and that just takes more battery life and stuff. And in advanced to see something like this today, oh my goodness, I mean, phenomenal for real to enjoy. And I mean, this is like a full-fledged game that can be going on a big screen, I mean, in your hand. And this is crazy. I mean, the technology you coming out with today, I can't get it when it first comes out like everybody else. Remember, I'm just like I said before, it's just, I said this before in playing video, we're not like getting, this is not like review copies that we're getting. I mean, we're actually, this is hard work money that just, my opinions, this is something that I'm playing just out the box as a person that's just buying this stuff. And if you notice that like these devices been out for a while before I even get them in my hands, so it's just, you know, I just enjoy it. Like, hey, I'm a consumer. Let's just put it that way. All right, moving right along. Now we're gonna hop into some Game Pass. All right, there's two things I wanted to show you up on here. Number one, I'm gonna show you a game that's fully downloaded to the device, and then next I want to show you cloud gaming on the Game Pass. My internet connection is not all that, but I think we'll be alright. We'll be alright. Let's get into it. Okay, normal settings. Visuals stunning, off the chain. Controls works well, no problem, no lag, no nothing. Just, I mean, just straight gaming, dude. Just straight up on it. So judging from everything where I'm playing, I shouldn't have no problems playing online. If I was to play multiplayer, not a problem at all. It shouldn't give me too much of a problem. So obviously, one thing I haven't got a chance to test out yet is using the headset, seeing if the microphone is gonna work. Let me know in the comments if you guys want to see something like that. If hopefully I can. So that just raised an idea. Now online for streaming with cloud gaming, let's get into that. Oh wow. And I figured this thing was not gonna disappoint, you know, just like the G Cloud. The G Cloud, oh goodness, that thing looks amazing. Have you seen my video for that? Make sure you go to the channel and watch that video. Streaming is amazing on that thing too. Much respect to the G Cloud. Also, the G Cloud is a lot more cheaper than this device too. And yeah, and if you just want to use something for like cloud gaming, like if you just want to do cloud gaming and maybe simple emulators, yeah, go with the G Cloud. The G Cloud is definitely, and it's much easier to get to. It's the same thing. And when I first got my Project G Cloud, I got it at that really high price point. So now it's really much better to get now. And if you hit the links in my description, I try to get you the quickest way that you can be able to get your handheld in your hand. So if you guys ever, you know, grab something from the links, let me know in the comments. Say, hey, I use your link. I really tries to get you guys the best, like the fastest shipping that you can get, so that way, you know, you can get in your hands right away. Now, you remember earlier I said I was going to be using something else for PlayStation for playing games, and it's about that time for me to do that. Check this out. PlayStation Plus setup on here. Let's get into it. Unlike with some of the Android-based consoles or handhelds I've been playing, it's been using mostly like remote play. This, I'm actually using PlayStation Plus app on this handheld. How awesome is that? And you know what? I have not used it yet on the Steam Deck. By messing with this kind of gave me some ideas. So I might be going ahead and champion with that to mess around with that up on the Steam Deck as well. So all I have to do is just tap the top and use the controller mode, and I am off to the comic book store. People say off to the races, but I like comics, so I'm just gonna say a comic book store. Wow, it takes a good Windows-based handheld to play PlayStation Plus on. I mean, and not just like the remote play. I mean, playing these games straight up, streaming like Game Pass. Wow, this is amazing and it plays pretty well. I mean, for real, I'm loving this. I'm definitely loving it. Did you guys hear about this PlayStation handheld that they supposed to be coming out with, based off of, like, I guess streaming your console to the handheld or something like that? I don't know. I mean, I heard about it. I'm just, you know, of course I probably get it because I'm a PlayStation fan, but you know, I mean, maybe I'll just talk about that in another video. And when I said about Windows based, it's just, I'm just using sarcasm. I'm quite sure there's other operating systems like Linux and stuff like that that can pretty much install the PlayStation Plus and being able to play. And I'm quite sure that there's other videos out there in handhelds or using Android. Probably they could probably figure things out to get it to play, you know, the stream. So, you know, but let's try one more game. I just want to play one more just to see. I mean, like, this is, to me, this is my first time seeing something like this, so this is wild. Oh my goodness, I'm just not doing how much time that I have put into this video. I am so sorry. If you guys made it this far, I truly appreciate it. I really, there's still more that I have to show you. So in this, I'm just going to end it right here. This is going to be a to be continued video. There's going to be another one that's going to follow up behind this one, and I just want to get to the emulation parts, as well as plugging it up to a monitor and a capture device. Equipment I will be using for the monitors, I'll put that in the description. So the emulation is what that's the next one. Thank you guys for sitting back, chilling. Do appreciate it. I truly appreciate it. Please hit the like and subscribe. And from gamer to gamer, thanks for watching. To be continued.